Ladies and gentlemen, rain, go away. That is tonight's episode, especially with one of our guests. We have the restoration genius, Justin Decremer from SWF. It's going to be an amazing, amazing show. So stick with us. We also always going to have the wonderful Mclaughlin-Mr. Actually, again, I had somebody else call. Hey, can you hook me up with Mr. Mishta? I go, yeah, I know that guy. I know Mr. Mishta. I know how he's around. Mel is making it happen behind the scenes. You may hear her pipe in, you may not. I put a muzzle on her for a little bit today. You know, she was getting out of hand, so we had to put the smack down. So she'll pipe in as when she can. All right. So without further ado, I'm Scott, and I'm talking real estate. First thing I want to know, guys, is where you're tuning in from. Where are you coming from? You coming from Riverview Highlands? Are you talking from Chelsea, Michigan? Way up north? I mean, where are you coming in from? What do we got going on? Steve Kreitz, guaranteed D7 man, is right there making it happen. Episode 111. Very intense stuff. Yep. Mel loves you too there, Mr. Kreitz. Monroe, Michigan. I know where that's up. That must be my good man, Zach Wilkowitz there. It must be Zach Wilkowitz there. So he's making it happen. D7, Janine McKay. She is in the house. Janine, I got to reach out to you about Jennifer. I had a question for you about her. Chris Wojcinski must be watching kids tonight. Must be watching kids at Patrick Wojcinski's house in Livonia, Michigan. Okay. Pat Neese, the good neighbor on William Street. How are you, dear? Good to see you. Good to see you. Guys, you don't want to miss today's show. I got a great guest. I've had to throw some extra bonus money at him to get him here today, but he's here. He's going to make an appearance, and this guy knows everything there is to know about restoring stuff. So Kathy Cordy is in the house. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. All right. So let's talk about today's show a little bit. It's rain, go away, because the times that you don't love homeownership is when you got to restore something, when something bad happens. Michelle Gill, good to see you. Okay, that's when my expert Justin Decremer comes in. Mike McLaughlin's going to give us the lowdown in Uptown about everything going on in mortgages. Babs Phillips, how the heck are you? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a bit there, girl. I want to make sure you're still a fan. Tracy Schultz, my good friend, I talked to yesterday. He's definitely the contractor to be. So let's start off with our good friend, Mike McLaughlin. Let's get Mike in the mix here. Michael, how are you?
Hey, Scott. How you doing, brother?
Brother, I am doing great. This rain is kind of putting a damper on the world, but, you know, we make things happen.
Yeah, that really hit us pretty good there for a second, didn't it?
Man, it was pounding the building. I could hear it going crazy. It was ridiculous.
Had some hail. Yeah, about 10 minutes there. You see the birds flying away, and you know it's coming.
So our good friend Shelly Gambino's in the house. She loves dancing in the rain, Michael. That's what I hear. That's a word on the street. So lots of rain people here today. So Kathy Cordy, I guarantee she's got good questions for us. You're getting all kinds of love. So give the people some love. Pat Neese saying hello to you. Kathy Cordy saying hello to you. All kinds of good stuff.
Hey, Kathy, Steve, Pat, how you guys doing? Hey, Shelly. Hey,
so
Facebook user.
Tell me, the old Facebook user, you got to watch out for them. So
the old Facebook user.
Tell me this and reassure me that, because I know the answer to this already, but reassure me that rates are affordable still. They're going to be affordable for a while, for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean rates are going up, but but it's really due to the geopolitical reasons, you know, with what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, more than anything that's happening here. So just like a lot of things in our country, like gas prices, we're just going to need a resolution over there before things are going to truly settle down and find a more palatable bottom. Yeah. Right now, they're going to be elevated. In my mind, once we can get some type of a semblance of even any kind of normalcy, then we'll see a lowering and a plateauing down at a kind of a middle ground. Yeah. But, just like with anything right now, we're going to have to wait it out and watch what happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me some good stuff about what's going on with MHSDA these days. Anything good?
Well, we do have some good news, and this isn't about MHSDA.
Okay.
As far as MHSDA goes, I don't think there's any new news. There's nothing new from them to share at this time. Okay. But I did have some exciting information, and I posted it on your Facebook page for the show. And I'm going to do a share screen here in a second.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
They just announced a couple days ago. All right, here it is. I'll pull it over here. They just announced a couple days ago, and I put the link on your Facebook page in case anybody wants to see more.
Yeah.
That is it sharing to the screen? There we go. Equifax, Experian, and Transunion are going to be eliminating billions of dollars in medical debt from credit reports.
No kidding.
Yep. So what it comes down to, and if you read through this article, any medical debts that have already been paid off are going to be removed from the credit report. So if you had a collection that it's paid, even though it's paid, it can still be leaving you, it can still be having a negative effect on your credit. So now what happens is when you pay these, they won't just show them as paid, they'll remove, it's going to be removed from the credit report.
Really?
So you see here, it says $88 billion in medical debt. The U.S. people in the U.S. had $88 billion in basically medical collections on their credit report.
Wow.
They're going to be removing 70% of these $88 billion from the credit report. So anything, and here's the fine print. In the first half of 2023, so next year, they're going to remove and no longer report any medical collections that are under $500, which is 90%. I mean, obviously it's not, probably 90% of the total collections posted. They say 70% of the debt because obviously if it's over 500, it's going to have a higher percentage of the whole.
So, Michael, let me ask you this question then. So people should be following up, making sure this is happening, or what?
Well, the article says it's not going to be for another year, but it's exciting stuff because if someone's credit is struggling due to 3 or 4 medical collections that we don't even care about paying those medical collections off. We don't even look at them. We're allowed to, it's medical, we move on. We don't even, for mortgage purposes. We see it, we move on. But and I don't know if there's a threshold where that becomes no longer the case, like a few, thousands. But for the most part, medical collections, we just look at them and we don't have to worry about them. But so in a year from now, that negative credit that those are causing is going to just be gone. So even though we don't have to count them, your credit score is still being ravaged by these. But if you have $100 or $200 medical debts, you might as well just call it a day because it'll just crush your score. 100 points, 100 points off your score. So that kind of thing is going to go away. It's common sense, but yet we know that common sense isn't always that common. So they're going to remove them, and anything under 500 will be removed. Anything paid off will be removed. So that's going to be great for people trying to get mortgages because it's going to bump them up, maybe into conventional instead of FHA. Maybe it's the difference between them even being able to buy a house.
Yeah. Michael, I tell you what, things like this, it just makes you feel better about life that goofy stuff can stop happening to some people. Because it's always, what knows all I do. There's always that case where you got the one person that they had this one medical collection that kicked their ass and then all of a sudden it screwed up everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, there could be many reasons for why. And I think the number one reason I hear, like if we did a top 5 answers on the board, survey says the number one answer on the board for why people end up with medical collections on their credit report is, well, they're a little naive. They get the bill in the mail and they go, oh, this is going to be covered by my insurance. Maybe they don't even open it. They go, oh, it's an insurance. It's basically, this is for my insurance.
Yep.
So they just think insurance is going to take care of it when there's always co-pays. There's always expenses that the insurance company can't write off and remove and have it removed. So there's almost always going to be a little bit of liability left for the consumer and the patient. But, obviously it's an honest mistake. I don't think anybody who's trying to establish themselves as an adult in this world is like, well, I'm not going to pay this $100 debt because I don't want to ever have good credit.
Yeah, no, I get you. Michael, that's groundbreaking, cutting edge stuff right there because I'm telling you, it'll save people's tails. It really will. It definitely will.
Yeah, check out the Facebook page for the show, and I put the link to the article on CNET right there. it's all over it's breaking news this week. It's all over the place, but I feel like the CNET one gave a really good breakdown of what it means to the consumer.
Absolutely. Listen, brother, you are the best in the business. Left, right, sideways. You always make it happen for us. I was going to ask you what's for dinner, but we and I talked about it, and it's not the crazy, exciting stuff McLaughlin world because you're working late these days because spring is here, my friend.
Yeah, just leftovers, and I might go cut from here, and I might go have a bowl of cereal. So we'll get some Cheerios for dinner.
There ain't nothing wrong with little Cheerios in the evening. No, nothing wrong with that. Michael, thanks for the good information, buddy, and I'll see you next week.
All right, guys, be well.
Give Mike some love. Give some see you Mike's in the old chat there. Let's make it happen. Give a little Mike. The guy's a legend. I'm telling you what, Mr. Mishta. We don't even call him Mike anymore. Mr.
Thanks,
Mishta,
guys.
we will see you later, my friend.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
God dang, that guy knows so much. It's so ridiculous. It's absolutely 100% ridiculous. So we're going to start getting down to the meat and the potatoes, folks. We're going to start getting down to the meat and the potatoes. All right. But to start off with, before we get to our guest who's making it happen, okay? Brenda Sennett says, hello, good to see you, young lady. Babs, I'm telling you, I love that Mike is the best. I agree, Chris Bergeron. But this guest we got coming up next is pretty good too. Before we do, though, guys, I'm going to throw the question out there, and we're going to see because I got the right answer. I know what it is. Let's see who gets the first right answer here on this one, okay? Winner gets a free, gets a lottery, scratch-off lottery ticket. What is the first thing you do when your basement floods? What is the first thing you do when your basement floods? I'll give you 1 minute. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. What do you think? What's the first thing you do when your basement floods? What is the first thing you do when your basement floods? Somebody got it right off the bat. Guys, I expected it to be a little trickier than that. So swim. Swim's a good one. Wait for it to drain. Cry. That's awesome. So, all right. So let's see what we got for answers here, folks. I want to share with everybody so everybody can see it. So let's see. So my favorite answer so far is where to go. Cry. Kathy Gordy says cry. That's the first thing you do. Okay. Brenda Sennett says swim. That's a good answer too. But the real answer, the best swear, Patney says swear. Get the sub pump going. Good. Call your guest. You got a little late to the party on that one. So whoever is Facebook user, it said call Justin. LOL. Who is that out there in land? Tell me. Pour chlorine in the water. That's a good one too. Tell me, who said call Justin, the Facebook user? Who is that? Because that's the person that we want to get a scratch-off lottery ticket. You are the winner. So Facebook user said call Justin, LOL. Whoever lets us know. Oh, you never guess who it is. Yes, it is. Absolutely it is. Absolutely. Yeah, so we got to give it to somebody else because you live with him. So we're not giving it. He's the cutest thing in your household, but besides your dog, but you're not getting it to it. Sorry. So Chris Wojcinski we're going call Justin. That's what we're going with. Call Justin. So that's the winner of the first one. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Decremer, SWF, he said it's like single white female, SWF Restoration. Justin, what's going on, my friend?
Nice to see you.
God dang. Listen, this guy knows all kinds of stuff. Amber, it's not a bad one, but it's definitely call Justin's the first move. I know. Pass it along, Chris Wojcinski. I tell you what, you look at our guests, Ms. Wojcinski, and you pick somebody to give it to because I know you don't like the scratch-offs. You think it's beginner's love. Swim while calling Justin. All right, Brenda, we'll throw it at you. We'll do that. Brenda said we'll throw that one at you. So, Justin, tell me about what SWF does. Tell me what happens.
So we're a full mitigation and cleaning company.
Okay.
So we handle anything from cleaning your carpets to your tile and grout to full restoration services for water, fire damage.
So restoration, you're telling me, like, does that mean you do what? Somebody has water in the basement or somebody has some fire damage, you take everything down?
We would mitigate it, which is the first thing that needs to be done with water. You would remove affected flooring, affected structure, affected contents, dry things out.
Okay.
With drying equipment, commercial dehumidifiers, air movers, Depending on what type of water it is, you might need some air scrubbers to purify the air.
Okay.
Sanitize and clean things once you get the drying done, and then either we'll pass it on to somebody else or we can handle the rebuild as well.
Wow. Okay. So you definitely a one-stop shop with everything, huh?
Yeah,
Guys, as we're going through this, I'm going to let Justin answer that question in a second. But as we're going through this, throw questions in the chat. Anything restoration based. If the fire happens in your house, water, whatever it is, we're here to answer the question. So go ahead, keep going. You were going good.
And then as far as the cleaning aspect of it goes, we do full residential, commercial services for carpet cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, upholstery, area rugs.
So like maintenance stuff you're talking about now.
Correct. So, and then the homes, that have carpets, especially homes that have dogs or cats.
Yep.
You should really have carpets cleaned every 12 to 18 months is what the Carpet Institute will tell you.
Really?
Sometimes you need them done a little bit more depending on if your animal sheds a lot. So maybe once every 10 to 12 months, but at least every 12 to 18 months, you should have your carpets cleaned in your house.
So guys, do this for me. In the chat, anybody has carpet in their home, put I. Put either the letter I, the word I, put I in the chat. Because I want to see how many folks have carpet that we're in front of us today. So put in the chat. Folks that have carpet in their home. They have carpet. Justin's saying, what'd you say, 18 months?
12 to 18 months.
So a year and a half.
Based on the Carpet Institute recommendation, which is the standard.
Yeah, so question from Kathy Gordy says, do you do ceiling restoration for a leaking roof?
We do. We would remove whatever, if the drywall is affected, we would remove it.
Yep.
Get up in the attic if we have to see what's going on there, and then we could repair the drywall as well.
Yeah, so he definitely does. Kathy definitely does. So folks, again, all those that said when was the last time you had your carpets professionally cleaned if you have an animal? And when was the last time you had professionally
Or just having it cleaned in general.
Right. So if they don't have an animal, then what are we talking about?
Then you should still do it every 18 months.
Okay. Just because you're getting all kinds of
the particulates from your furnace, from your AC being on, everything goes into the carpet, the dirt, the stuff that your vacuum's not going to get out. It's good to have it professionally done, steam cleaned, hot water extraction. And our process doesn't leave your carpet wet for hours.
Yep.
Just 2 or 3 tops. We groom things, we move furniture, we won't move china cabinets or things like that. We're not like Stanley Steamer that'll go in and go around everything real quick and they're out. We'll take our time. We have our process, and it's proven to work, and it's proven that your carpet will be healthy, and that's what you want. Because you're breathing everything that's in your carpet. You're breathing every day.
So you're talking about health wise.
Just think about that. Yeah.
Gotcha. So let me get at a couple of things, folks. I'll give you a couple quick stories of Justin because he's my guy for restoration. Okay, I had a couple of very close friend of mine's relatives that listed their house in Riverview. The power was shut off at some point in time, and the back sub pump didn't work. So then water all over the basement right after we closed even. So they had already closed on the home. Justin was there in minutes, not hours, minutes, and he had dryers going already, making things happen and cleaning carpets and all that kind of stuff. So that's a amazingly positive outcome on that one. My grandmother, we sold her house in Dearborn, and just to kind of spruce it up for the sale, we used Justin to clean. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that and I had for mold. We'll get into mold a little bit too, guys. We'll get into mold too. See, Christ is asking, what's the general cost?
The cost is anywhere from $145 to $165 is a minimum charge.
Okay.
And then it's based on rooms and areas and what we're moving and things like that.
So like 1,000 square Dearborn Heights Ranch.
If there's no, let's say you're moving some light furniture and things like that, it's probably around $350, $375.
And every 12 to 18 months, you say, yeah, okay.
And when you break that down, that might seem a lot to begin with, but the health of your carpet's going to last longer.
Yep.
It's going to be better. And yeah, you can buy the stuff at Home Depot and do it, but it's not getting into the jute of the carpet. It's not cleaning. It's only going so far.
Okay.
And it's not going to do a good. It's going to leave a lot of grind behind where our machine is going to pull all that stuff up.
Gotcha. So let me ask another question then. So do you do more of that or more restoration work?
We do more restoration right now, but we're getting into more carpet cleaning too.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, restoration work for us is where the money is, but carpet cleaning is something that we will do just to keep busy, have guys going, and
gotcha.
Then, you build a good customer base too.
Sure, absolutely. So Tracy's asking about what about the padding underneath?
That definitely gets cleaned as well. So you will suck up anything that's there. That's why we don't wet it so much, so that padding doesn't stay wet. but it definitely does get into that. And the really, the dirt and the regular type of household stuff that you're going to find is not going to get into the pad too much. What really gets into padding a lot is urine, from dogs or cats. That's the thing that can affect urine, and that's a whole nother process.
Gotcha. So what about plaster?
Plaster, we do not do plaster. There's very few guys that do plaster.
I know. I hear this all the time too, man. Plaster's like a dying sport. Or
somebody that does that. Now there are tricks that guys do that they can fill in plaster with drywall and make it look just fine. You would never know the difference.
Okay.
And I've got a couple guys like that, but the actual plaster guy, no.
Yeah, I tell you what, guys, I find that too. Plaster is like a dying sport. That's what it feels like to me. So Brenda Sennett's throwing out. What do you do? Ozone treatments. I don't know what that is.
We do ozone treatments. Yes.
Explain that to me.
Yeah. So basically, that is if you have a fire, pretty much, and you got a lot of smoke damage, you can go in with ozone machines, and it helps clean and purify the air.
Really?
It takes the odor out of it. And
really?
It's not good to be in the home while those things are running because people are very sensitive to them. But it helps a lot, and it's part of the process we use for our fire mitigation jobs.
Okay. So this is Steve Kreitz coming because he's from Dogbone Heights. So there's a big one. What about a finished basin walls when it's flood? So walk me through the process of what happens. So
if you got carpet pad, you're talking about all that. That's all gone. Depending on how high the water gets, you got to cut 12 inches above the water line. So you might have to cut it 2 feet. You might have to cut it 4 feet.
Okay.
You got to get to dry.
Yep.
And then contents just depends on what type of water it is, how bad it is. They may have to go too. The biggest thing is people need to look at what kind of coverage they have. Just because and as much as we flooded around here in the last 5 or 6 years, just because you have flood insurance doesn't mean you have drain backup coverage,
right,
or sub pump coverage. Those are separate riders,
right. And to my understanding, the backup is real cheap.
It is. It might $100. You might get 10 grand in coverage.
Yeah.
Which is good. 5,000 doesn't really do it. You want that $10,000 to $25,000 in coverage, especially if you have a finished basement, because the cost of everything now is so much higher than what it was. 5,000 gets you nowhere, basically.
Yeah.
And just make sure that you're covered for that. So, and then, to keep answering that question a few seconds more, we would go in and just make sure everything is clean, dry, sanitized, the damaged structure is removed, everything's dry. Our process might be 3 to 5 days, something like that on average, and then it can be repaired.
Okay. So, guys, I mean, it can be taken care of and done appropriately, and not an arm and a leg either. I mean, Justin and I have known each other a long time, and I'm always going to recommend somebody who I know is going to do a couple of things. Going to get to you quick, right, and not just beat you with price too, because there's lots of folks out there that love to do that kind of stuff.
And we deal directly with insurance companies and adjusters. I'm the middleman between, so the homeowners and the insured aren't dealing with that. That's my job. I get the estimates and the numbers and everything the adjuster needs so he can get the claim off his desk as fast as possible, which helps everybody.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about mold. Tell me, mold is a big thing. So walk me through mold a little bit, because I have some people that are petrified of mold. Some people are like, mold's no big deal, do this. So give me your thoughts about mold. Give me some more insight into mold.
So the first thing is mold is everywhere.
Okay.
Mold is outside, mold is in your house, mold is in your furniture, mold is everywhere. It's just certain types of mold that are bad. If you have a water issue and you have a water issue, especially drywall or anything that's very porous, that's going to suck the water up and hold the water. If you start to see any growth that's black, green, or eventually turns fuzzy, that's bad.
Okay.
That's the stuff that you need to get a professional in to take care of. You don't want to remove it yourself because it's very harmful. Once you agitate it, it goes into the air.
Spores and stuff, right?
And if it's in a basement per se, and again, your furnace is running or your air conditioner is running, it's going to take all that ambient air from the basement, which you've now created, which is mold, right? And push it into your furnace and out through the rest of the house.
It'll start spreading.
And then you start smelling it upstairs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then there's companies that do environmental testing that can tell you exactly where the mold is, what needs to be done. And there are certain cases where it's tough to find the source. But for the most part, if you see it and can smell it, that's the bad stuff.
So if you see it and smell it, guys, that's a big
Black,
thing, black and green. Okay. So for testing like that, what's it cost?
So for environmental tests, it's anywhere from $700 to $1,000, and there's environmental companies that will come and do those things. They'll test the indoor quality, their outdoor quality. They'll do tape tests on actual where the mold is, and it breaks it down. And they have reports that will say, this is what needs to be done. This is how you remediate it, and everything gets broken down for you. So you'll know exactly when you come to a professional like me that can handle it. Here's my report. Here's what the environmental company recommends. And then once we're done doing our remediation, the company will come back and do a post test to make sure everything's okay.
Done. Okay.
Which is an additional cost.
Yeah, it gets pretty pricey.
Cost.
It gets pretty pricey. So before I get you into maybe a story or two, we got a quick question for the folks in the audience. What is Justin's alma mater? And Facebook user Dawn, you can't answer this one. What is Justin's alma mater? First correct guess wins. What college did he attend? It's in Michigan, right?
It is.
All right. It's in Michigan. Throw out your answers. Let's see what you got. What college did he attend? Let's see what we got. And we'll give you a yes or no as we go. It's a college in Michigan. Okay. Folks got to call Justin one early, so hopefully this one rides for a little bit, gives folks a little chance. Brenna says Michigan State.
It is state. That is part of it, but it's not Michigan State, but state is definitely part of it.
There you go. Okay. What else? Come on, folks. What do we got here? What do we got going on? Talk to me. What is Justin's alma mater? Wayne State, Kathy Cordy says.
No.
Steve and Shelley say U of M. U of M.
No.
Which, hey, listen, it's my alma mater. So just saying. I know it, but I can't play. You're right, Chris Bergeron. You can't. That's ridiculous. Ouch State. What?
No.
Ow. No. Michelle says Wayne State. Bass says Wayne State. Man,
No.
Wayne State. People are loving the Terrapins of Wayne State. The Terrapins? No, they're not Terrapins. What are they now?
Ferris State. That is correct.
Ferris State. We're in the Senate. I'm telling you, you're cleaning up today, kiddo. You are cleaning up. We have two scratch-off winners. I can't play either. Jeez. Ferris State. Steve, a little too late on that one, sir. A little too late. Grand Valley State. That was another good one.
I went there and caused some problems at Grand Valley.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah,
I'm sure you did.
attended class there.
All right, so give us some stories. Give me some, maybe one or a couple of them. Some worst thing you ever
I
saw.
saw a question up there too about letting people know not to take care of mold or anything themselves, and that's one big thing that you really don't want to do. You don't want to mess with that, especially if it's an area that's more than 10 square feet.
Okay.
It's something you want a professional to handle. Don't mess with it yourself. It can cause a lot of breathing issues with people. It creates problems. It's breathing in all of that. Once you disturb it, is very bad. So, and I can't remember who said it on there, but please call professional. If it's not me, call somebody else to get it taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a story. So a couple. We do a lot of cleaning for Joe Louis Arena.
Okay.
And then Little Caesars Arena we're getting back into too, but we've done a lot of cleaning for Joe Louis Arena.
So is it still?
Joe Louis Arena is no longer
Right.
But we did back when they were open. So we would come in after games and clean their locker rooms and things like that. Yeah. So
you're like a celebrity cleaner.
There was a couple times, and I worked in professional sports for 10 years right out of college. So it never really, I was just, and then you'd see players walk by all the time and, I'd say hi to them, but I was, I'd been in that business for a decade.
Yeah. Cool.
So I happened to be moving something, and one of the guys was in the room working. I was pulling a couple hoses around, and this was back in the day when I was a little stronger and not so, this. And,
I hear you.
And I threw the hose back, and I hit someone in the chest, and it knocked him back. And I turned and looked, and it was Pavel Datsyuk.
No, really?
Yeah. And he goes, in his Russian accent, which I won't try to do, he was like, "That's the hardest I got hit all night."
That's really good, Pavel. What's the cleaning guy knocking me over for?
I was afraid we wouldn't be working there anymore, but that didn't happen.
So before you get on our story, I got another question for you. What are ways to prevent mold? What are ways to prevent it?
Moisture, really. The bad stuff is moisture. You want to keep moisture out of your attic. Properly vent your attic, especially from your bathrooms. We see a lot of cases where we get mold in attics because you don't have proper ventilation in your bathroom. You may have a fan in your bathroom, but it might
Deposits
be
in
blowing
the attic,
right
right?
in the attic.
Yeah, I
instead
see
of
that a
outside
ton
the
too.
house.
Like that's a big thing that
And
that
it's
private
just-
inspectors hit all the time.
yeah.
Like it's throwing in air, it's throwing moisture in the attic. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
just constantly creating moisture in the attic. And again, anything that's wet, if it's wet for 72 hours and not even sometimes, drywall especially is gonna start growing mold. So just make sure that things are dry and really, if you have to, just put a fan on something.
Yeah.
Just get air going, circulate air, and just as long as you're pumping air, then that process isn't going to start. So if something is wet, if your carpet and pad get wet a little bit and you see it going towards your wall, because it'll wick towards the wall, wet goes to dry, just put a fan on it.
Okay.
Just keep air moving.
People love the fans. There's people on the show right now that love the fans. So make sure you have a fan available.
Airflow. See someone else.
Make sure you have a fan available. So one more good story.
So this is a story where it's a lot of lessons for people that go on vacation. So this is probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I was on my way to my golf league on Tuesdays, and I got a call that we had an emergency in, and there was 3 levels of a home that were affected. So basically, what happened was these people were on vacation for 6-7 days. They came home, opened up the door. Water was raining down from upstairs to their living room, dining room, kitchen. It was all destroyed into their finished basement. What happened was upstairs and the toilet, the supply line busted when they were gone.
Because it
the
was
water
cold.
ran. No, it was in the summer.
Wow.
So the water ran for 3-4 days constant. And the supply line, it's like turning on a hose. Like the water is just never going to stop. And it ran and ran and ran. And it flooded. I mean, the house was basically, the inside of it was 70% destroyed.
Wow.
So you're talking thousands and $80, $90, $100,000 probably was the total bill for that. And they were out of their home for months, 6, 7, 8 months.
See, that's the other part of it too. That the inconvenience, not the inconvenience, the sucky part of being hoteled and everything
And
else.
think about, you come home for vacation, you walk in, and this is what you see.
Yeah. That's the part that sucks. It's like,
what I tell people all the time is, if you go out of town for more than 24 hours, turn your main water off.
Yeah.
Open up some faucets, let it drain out, because if something happens, it doesn't have to be wintertime. It can be any time of year. You're not there to shut the water off.
That's going to keep coming.
Keep running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always tell folks too that, or at least have somebody come check your house out or something. Or come get the mail, check it out. I mean, when you're gone, you know what I mean? Guys, so Justin Decremer is, again, the only guy that I use for restoration. So if you ever need his services, you just call me or call him. At some point, I'll put his information in the group too as well. So SWF Restoration is right on Van Born Road, right?
We are on Hip and Van Born.
Hip and Van Born, yeah. And I mean, the best of the business. Like I said, I call him, boom, he's there within half hour. I mean, tops. Because they know it's time is,
or I'm going to send somebody else. It might not be me.
Right, but at least it's going to
happen. I'm in the backyard having a cocktail on the weekend. I'm sending somebody else.
All right. Well, yeah, I get it. But I mean, you're going to make it happen, though.
Yeah.
So, guys, give Justin a big round of applause. Throw some in the chat. Justin. Throw that in the chat for us. Because he's definitely spending some quality time here with us. His girlfriend and his wonderful dog are at home, sitting there just waiting for him to come home. So he wanted to spend a little time with you guys because I asked him to. Steve, he definitely appreciates it.
Thanks, Steve.
Absolutely. All right, bud. I'll check you later.
Thank you.
We'll see you, my friend. All right.
Where's my Johnny Carson act?
With the golf swing? Guys, so real quick, because I know we got some quick stuff going. We got one more lottery ticket here. I saw some cool stuff. I saw some very, very cool stuff this weekend. I went to a house with a friend of mine I think we were in Woodhaven. And in this one house, I saw all 3 of these pictures. So we're going to start with the first one. Let me get you the first one here. Yeah, definitely. Justin threw out a bunch of good information. He sure did. Maybe we'll catch him on the after show, too. Maybe we'll be able to catch him on the after show here. All right, let me share the screen real quick. This is a fun one. Speaking of Pavel Datsuk. I bet you did. Guys, take a look at that. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger for you. Hang on a sec. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. There it is. There it is. Caption that one for us. No Melhan today, Trace. No Melhan today. She's making things happen behind the scenes. So caption that one for me. Caption that picture. I saw that. That was the first cool thing I saw in that home. Throw me a caption in the chat. Justin Decremer is very cool. I appreciate it. Hockey sticks. Pat, you got to do better than that, kid. Come on. Got to do better than that. Give me a caption for that picture. If I was to put that online and make that a picture of this hat trick. I like that. It's not hell of a hat trick. Yep. Hockey lovers, check them into the boards. I like that. That's a good one. Check them into the boards. Pretty good. Tell me you love hockey without telling me you love hockey. I like it. That's funny. That's funny. Good stuff. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Cross check. I like it. Very nice. And like I said, all three of these pictures came from the same house. Exact same house. I'll give you about 10 more seconds. Throw me a caption in the chat. He shoots, he scores. I love it. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. So the winner of this one, of the caption this, let's see. Where is it? I just saw it, my favorite one. Where'd it go? I'm loving hat trick. Hat trick is my fave. Hat trick is my fave. So the first hat trick is Kathy Cordy. So Kathy Cordy, hat trick, question marks. That gets you that definitely gets you one. Go with your mom. That was good. Yeah, Chris Bergeron's good like that, but she already gets her. She doesn't need a lottery ticket. She's got a highly lucrative career with me, so she doesn't need that. She doesn't need that. All right, so we got two more good ones for you. Two more good ones for you. Let's see. What was that one? This one is interesting as well. This one was definitely interesting. And again, same house, exact same home. So there it is. I'll tell you what it is first. So I'll tell you what, here we go. So we got this one here. This is in a garage, guys. This is in a garage. This is on the back wall of a garage. Okay. It's cushion. It's cushion to stop you if you bump, so you don't bump into your wall in your garage. It sticks out about 2 or 3 inches, and it's cushion so you can't bump into your garage. So what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Pinewood Derby. I like it, Steve. I like it. Come on. What do you got for me? Give me a good caption. What do you got for me? Bumper cars. I like it. Nice. What else? What else? What else? Coming and going. That's a good one. Scott's Garage. Yes, it is, because Shelly knows me well enough to know I can't drive. I'm not the best driver. I said it to my family one time. They're like, that's kind of an understatement, really. So, yes, that's Scott's Garage. I like it. Shell, that's a good one. What do you think, guys? I'll give you 30 more seconds. And again, it was thick padded foam, so you don't bump into the side of your wall of your garage. So some people use a tennis ball for that. This guy used this thing. Ready, set, stop. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, I got one more cool one. Again, guys, this were all from the same house. All from the same house. So last one. I got one more cool one. And this one's kind of, it reminded me of actually like a restaurant more than a house. Remind me of a restaurant instead of a house. So those are the steps going up to the home. Those are the steps going up to the home right there. Those are the steps going up to the home right there, or from the garage to the home. So what do you got for that? What do you got for that? No pushing cushion, Trace. That's a funny one. I like that. That's pretty good. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Not as interesting as the other two, it looks like. Not as interesting as the other two. Overspray. Yep, sure is. Okay. Money in the floors. Justin. What do you got? What do you got for me? Overspray. It's the best we got. Steve Kreit's the only one to throw something out there. Where's all those creative minds I see in Noah Love? Huh? Stairway to heaven. I like it. Stairway with a I'm telling you what kind of heaven are we talking about? Hard to see. Yeah. It's so, guys, it's money. It's money. I don't have my glasses on. Is that Jesus? Block currency. Andy Cassisi is in the mix. There he is. Zigzag. Stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. Chase, that's a good one. Oh, man. I'm telling you what. Oh, the Zep reference. She's on point. Yes, she is. Chris Bergeron is a machine when it comes to that stuff. All right. So, guys, it was an absolutely wonderful show. It was an absolutely wonderful show. I love spending time with you. Justin Decremer, I mean, absolute expert in this field and gave us great information. So I'm going to have him bounce on the after show. So if you don't belong to the Facebook group Talking Real Estate, you should, because we'll put Justin in there and we'll give out his phone number. You can't call him late at night, though. You know, call him after 11 because he's probably sleeping. So don't be like, hey, what's up, boy? Don't do that. All right. Plus, he's got a very steady, wonderful girlfriend that I love dearly. So we'll do that. Missed you earlier. There you go. So let me end it the right way, guys. I'm Scott. And I am definitely talking real estate. See ya. Have a good